What you need to understand is that people are seasonal. They're going to come and go in this life, regardless if you want them to stay or not. And a lot of the times, it isn't down to you. Now, of course, you might be someone who self-sabotages. If so, solidarity, I do it as well. But you need to understand that not everybody is in your life for good. Even the people you care about the most, at some point, they're going to leave. Whether it's through them doing it on purpose or whether it's because it's their time, you won't have a choice in the matter. And when you're able to understand that everything is temporary, everything changes eventually, you're going to be a better person for it, and you're going to be able to take it on the chin a lot easier than you once did. Because goodbyes are hard. It's not easy to lose somebody that you truly care about. And I've done it a couple of times in my life, both ways, whether it's from me self-sabotaging or it's from them just having to leave because, I don't want to say it was their time, but they decided not to do what was in their best interest and they didn't look after themselves. Accepting it is very hard, and it's going to take a lot of mental toughness to do so. But what I keep reminding myself is eventually it was going to happen. Whether it was going to happen at that moment in that time or later on in life makes no difference. It was going to happen eventually. Everything is temporary. Everything is. And it's hard to stomach that because it's a tough truth. But we do tough truths here. We say it how it is. Don't blame yourself for something that was always going to happen. Regardless if your input in the situation made a big difference and maybe sped up the process, it was still going to happen. And you can use this as a lesson now. You can decide, well, you know what? I'm now grateful for the people that I have in my life, for the people I get to connect with, for the people I get to share a laugh with, for the people I get to just be myself around. Be grateful for them. As you don't know how long they're still going to be there for. I know that's tough to hear. Nobody wants to hear that. But you gotta learn. You gotta learn in this world. And a lot of us, we learn the hard way. We have to burn our hand on the stove to know not to touch it. If you're the type of person who's able to look back at someone else do it and learn from their mistakes, kudos to you. Unfortunately, the rest of the world, or a lot of the world, isn't wired like that. And what I'm understanding now is that I put so much emphasis on people in my life that I didn't put emphasis on myself. And when it comes down to it, if everybody's temporary, but the only person that you're truly in charge of is yourself, then why? Why do we do it? That's one thing you need to understand. The only person you are truly in charge of in this world is yourself. And when it all comes down to it, you can't depend on other people to pick you back up when you've lost yourself. A lot of us do that. I used to think that, I'll look after you if you look after me. Now it's completely different. I'm going to look after myself for you if you look after yourself for me. And that's the best mentality. Two people who are willing to do what is in their best interest so they can be the best possible people for the people around them. Because as people pleasers, we do our absolute most to make sure everybody else is happy, bar ourselves. Why? That's what I'll ask. Why? You're looking for something in people pleasing that you can't get anywhere else. You are looking to be accepted, to be wanted, to be a valued member of society. When the only person who can really give you what you're looking for is you. You're the only person in charge of how you truly feel. And if you look for that validation in other people, you're always going to be in a terrible place. I'm now 27. It took me a good 15 years to understand that. Nobody is going to have your back when you truly need it. You need to have your own back. You need to be able to do what's in your best interest and stop putting other people ahead of yourself. And I always come back to the fact when I have to do something that's hard, that might hurt somebody else, I have to say, you know what, I gotta look after me. I gotta do what's best for me. Because the thing is, if someone ever did that throughout my life, I'd understand it. I'd be like, no, they're doing what is best for them. Whether I agree with it, whether I respect it, I still understood it. Maybe it's time for us to do that now. Maybe it's time for us to be the person in our life that we were missing. Because as I've gotten older, I'm understanding, and I still do, nobody else is going to do it for us. We are completely in charge of our own destiny. So maybe it's time to put the power back in our own hands, stop caring so much about things that are inevitable, and just live our own lives.